Tonight, Trump's decision to pardon more than 1,500 January 6 defendants, including those convicted of violent crimes, has been met with criticism from Capitol Hill. Our Kevin Fry has more in this report.
These are the hostages.
Within hours of taking office, President Donald Trump issued sweeping pardons for nearly all January 6th defendants, including hundreds arrested for violent acts during the 2021 Capitol riot. During the campaign, he promised to grant clemency to many of the rioters, but it was never clear if that would include those accused of attacking law enforcement. New York Democrats in Congress quickly condemning the move. Representative Dan Goldman gathering with some of the police officers on duty that day.
You cannot say you back the blue if you are going to let out of jail violent criminals who assaulted the blue.
4 years ago, the rioters aimed to block Congress from certifying Joe Biden's victory in the 2020 election. At least 36 New Yorkers were charged. Some pled guilty, others were convicted. They include former NYPD officers and the son of a New York City judge, accused of everything from assaulting law enforcement officers to directing rioters to theft. Last week, ahead of Trump's pardon announcement, Brandon Fellows, who was photographed smoking pot in a senator's office that day, told me this when I asked if he had any regrets.
One of two options. If I could convince people to partake in a real insurrection, because that wasn't one, I would do that. I think that would save more lives in the long run. More realistically, if I could go back knowing all that I know, I'd like to warn people, hey, it's a giant setup, you know. They want this to happen.
Republicans from some of New York's more competitive congressional districts did not jump to defend Trump. Representative Mike Lawler saying he disagreed with pardoning violent offenders. Representative Nick LaLota saying the move concerned him.
What do you say to local police officers back home that the president is basically pardoning those that attacked police?
Presidents and governors have tremendous power in that pardon power, and
So easy.
I think if you hit a cop, I think if you cross other lines and endanger public safety, you should do your prison time.
So they shouldn't have been released early.
The president's got a lot of power in that pardon power. We've seen state governors, presidents go further than a lot of members of Congress would go on that.
Both, however, also quickly pivoted, invoking former President Biden's preemptive pardon of his siblings and their spouses hours before leaving office, or casting Democrats as weak on crime.
It's the Democrats in New York, for instance, who have put forth a disastrous cashless bail law that has allowed people who have assaulted cops to walk right out the door.
Some Republicans ducked the issue of Trump's pardons or claimed they did not know enough details to comment, echoing a common response to questions about Trump during his first term. On Capitol Hill, Kevin Fry, New York 1.